This city is the backbone of Mexico, among other cities in Mexico being the backbone of Mexican industry. So before you talk shit about places like Torreón and say that it's ugly and a hellhole and Satan's bumhole, think twice. Right, good afternoon people. Let me just sit down to get out of this boiling hot sun at midday on a Saturday in Torreón, Coahuila, northern Mexico. Yes, it's another video from here, and if I'm honest, today's video was meant to be from Viesca or the sand dunes or Parras de la Fuente, the magic town with the oldest winery in the Americas. But again, in all honesty, I've had a busy week and I just haven't got the energy or the will to get on a bus today. But one thing I do have the energy and will for is something that I've been curious to do since I've been back in Torreón over the last 4 weeks, and that is to explore a different side of the city. I don't know what I'm going to find. I haven't researched anything. I literally decided this about 10 minutes ago, so let's see what happens. It could be good, it could be shit. Let's see. So I'm just down this standard road as you do. I've crossed over. I've come from my place down Independencia. I went down to the periphery road where I planned to get the bus to Viesca, which hopefully I'll be doing in a future video. And I walked all the way back up here. Over there is Estado Revolucion. You know, as tourists, we're generally drawn to downtown areas with more investment, and that's fine, that's normal. But there are other areas of the city. Oh, Gorditas. Hola. I bet you're thinking, oh my god, why would you come to that area? But near this stadium we've got this food area there, we've got the food one over there with the gorditas, which I might have some actually in a minute because I'm really hungry. And of course Torreón is incredibly industrial. You've got this building up here, classic. Yeah, so it is a very industrial city, and I think I wouldn't do a city justice if I only focused on the downtown area. You do get comments with YouTube often saying, well, you only went to the downtown area, you didn't experience the full city, and that's true. But on the flip side, when I do this sort of video that's very industrial, or maybe even one which features abandoned buildings, you get some criticism saying, well, why are you promoting that side of the city? It's not beautiful, it's not pretty. But come on, we're not living in utopia. Without industry, there wouldn't be the money to invest in tourist areas, you know? So let's have some food. Okay, we've got Jamaica, mi favorito, and we've got various varieties of gordita. I'm getting asado rojo and choriqueso. There's also papas, etc. Carbón, mucho carbón. Sí. Dios mío. Sí, mi gorditas favorito es asado rojo. Y discada, pero...
también hay discada.
Sí, discada. Pero choriqueso es perfecto.
Queda rico, queda muy rica.
Con queso.
Ajá, sí, chorizo con queso.
Sí.
Pero ya
obviamente, queso.
Dorado, más rico todavía.
Sí. There's nothing better than coming to a little place like this, on the street, outside this crappy building, to have Jamaica, which is my favourite thing on the planet. It's so refreshing. We have salsas, roja y verde. Beautiful. I'm just waiting for my beautiful gordita angels. I'll say it's quite busy. Look, there are people behind me, there are people over there as well, more people ordering, and you can really smell that char-grilled carbon smell wafting through the air. It's beautiful. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I'm not the sort of person to go to like that really posh restaurant in Mexico City, the one that's really expensive. What's it called again? I would much rather come here for these absolute beauties. So look, these are really carbon. She asked me if I wanted them more dorado, like tacos dorados, where they're like hard. This one is the choriqueso. So you can see the meat with the cheese melted there, and you have my favorite, which is asado rojo, or rojo, I can never remember which one. Beautiful. Okay, I think I will have a rojo overload and have the salsa roja on my asado, and I will have verde, I think, on the choriqueso. Let's go with the asado first. So crispy. Gorditas in this area of Mexico are the best. I have forgotten how good these are. I'm not even joking. Like, the meat is bloody brilliant. The spice is amazing. The sauce is wonderful. And I haven't had them so carbon before. I think it's brilliant. I think a lot of times they can be quite sort of soft and plain. This adds a bit more flavour to them, I think. These are dynamite. I love these. I've had gorditas in this region of Mexico a lot, as well as in Gomez Palacio and Durango. And I've got to say, like, if you compare them to Mexico City, for example, nothing against Mexico City, I've spent a lot of time there, but I do find that here there is so much more variety and so much more flavour. In Mexico City, I feel like it's just frijoles y queso, you know. I think I've said this before with other items as well. And yeah, of course you can get other variety in Mexico City, but generally I find they're not as good. That's just my preference. Sorry if you're a chilango, but whatever. Chori queso. Yes, the chorizo and the queso are a match made in heaven. I'm not being funny, but these are probably the best gorditas I've ever had in Torreón. I'm shocked and surprised. Yeah, I've eaten everything. What else did you expect? The woman there was bloody brilliant. She's given me some recommendations as well. Alaskas Don Meni and Nieves Artesanales for Nieves y Raspados. I feel like I could explode, but I guess that's the point of gorditas. Dios mío. Yeah, that woman was brilliant. She was like, ¿qué tal? I was like, muy rico. Quiero mucho más. Pero posiblemente tarde. Yeah, I can't eat any more right now. I will literally die. This area is kind of half residential, half automobile workshops, which you of course get a lot of in Mexico. There are some warehouses and stuff as well, but we've got houses too. I'm definitely getting like Obregón or Los Mochis vibes. Down here you've got nicely manicured trees and hedges and things and flowers, nice houses, and of course graffiti covered alleyways. This little type of shop over here, this like independent convenience store, it's closed at the moment. Very common in Mexico. A lot of them have like miscellaneous on because they kind of sell everything, you know. Oh, I'm quite actually impressed. You know, sometimes you think when you come to an area outside of the city you might think it will be a bit of a shithole, but actually it's not. There's an interesting church up here, all very modern. You know, this is not a Pueblo Mágico. We're in residential Mexico, which actually, you know, reflects much of my normal life in Mexico. I don't generally stay in these tourist areas or downtown areas. I'd prefer to stay where the locals live, this sort of area. This kind of sums up nice quiet residential Saturday in Mexico. There's a Mexi dog. Okay, Mexicans, I need your help. This is a question I have never found the answer to over the years. Why are there always shoes hanging from electricity wires? Like everywhere in Mexico I see it. How do they get up there? Does someone just like throw them? We have más comida, gorditas al carbón, tacos y tostadas. Lots of different varieties as well. You can also get them by the kilo. I noticed that a lot in Mexico. Like if you're really hungry or maybe a family, it really does go a long way and it's really quite affordable. Right, let's go up here, innit? Love these little overpasses. Covered in graffiti, classic. Now I'm just taking a little break in the shade again, this time with a cigarette. And I said last time in the previous video that I'm not here for tourism, right? Tourist sites right now, after 6 years of travelling full time, appeal to me about as much as chlamydia. So that's why I'm at this shitty building. Look at it. I mean, I don't know what it was. Was it a house? It kind of looks like a house from the bottom part, but on the top it kind of looks like a 1960s, 70s concrete office building. Well, let's take a closer look. Yeah, it's all locked up. So I don't think it's an active crack den. Oh yeah, it is a house, or it was a house. There's the kitchen over there. The beautiful San Miguel de Allende. No thanks. Yeah, it's very much locked up. It was a residential address. There are cobwebs. There's a missing kitchen sink. That's a bit retro, that sort of reflective surface over there. in the centre of the screen. There's the stairs there to get upstairs, obviously. I'm sorry, but I love this sort of thing. It's very sort of maybe 1970s kitchen. I feel like we're really heading into the industrial heart of Torreón. Cerveseria. Is this like a huge brewery? Centro de Capitación. I thought it said decapitation. It's a nice building, very modern. Now, I know what some Mexican viewers may be tempted to say in the comments, that by showing a smashed up building, that will give a bad impression of Mexico to foreigners. But honestly, I wouldn't worry. I think the people that would have a bad impression from this video are probably people that are quite stupid, such as people that watch Mexico City videos and think that Condesa represents the entire city. You know, I'm not going to go away with the bad impression from this sort of area, so why would other people? I can understand that some people might, but as I said, generally those people are probably lacking in common sense and intelligence. I'm sorry, but they are. This is final season David, I'm not mincing my words, right? Next to the Corona brewery, there's a, I'm assuming that's like a flour mill behind me. Harinera de la Laguna. Yeah, so there's a lot of industrial places around here. Okay, I'm not going to show you because even I have a limit, but I've just walked down this street where there's like junkyards and stuff. I could smell a smell that I thought, that smells like corpses. Yes, there are dead dogs and dead cats down this street. Nice. It happens, right? Okay, Torreón's airport is over there. I've flown from there once before. I'm also flying from there in about a week's time. And let's face it, you know, airport areas anywhere are always a bit shit, aren't they? They're always a bit of a dump. That's life. And we're heading to hopefully a nice area, actually, which is to the right. Gorditas everywhere. Angels. Oh, it makes a change to see some Mexicats. I mean, when they're not corpses, that is. I just said hello to a lovely Abuelita back there, sitting outside her little house on a little chair, just watching the world go by. Those are the sorts of things in Mexico that are gold, you know. You wouldn't think that normally, but when you come away from somewhere like this and you think you've had an opportunity to be somewhere like this, that's like the middle of a crap hole part of town, and you've met an Abuelita sitting outside her house. We're at a place that has been recommended by many. Bosque Urbano. Urban forest. Or park, whatever. Oh, well this is nice, isn't it? There's a little map. Teatro de la Laguna. Oh, there's a planetarium. Yes, I read about that. There's even a tirolesa. A zip wire. Brilliant. We got a carousel. A fun fair. Doesn't appear to be open right now. There is one ride that's operating in the distance, I just saw. These places are always closed. Oh, look, there's a thing you can go down on a mat. What's that called? A slide thingy. Oh, my actual word that doesn't imply blaspheming. Look, dodgems, bumper cars. This reminds me of England. Like Brighton Pier, you would go down to Brighton in the summer and go on the dodgems, or in the winter when it's fireworks night, Guy Fawkes night, and you go to a fairground in a big park, you can go on the dodgems. Oh, can I go up here? Yes. I mean, there's no one here. What are they going to do, arrest me? Remember when I was in Pripyat, Chernobyl, in Ukraine years ago, with that iconic abandoned dodgems that was never actually used because the disaster happened before the fairground could be used? Yeah, this is literally like being in Brighton, on Brighton Pier. Old arcade games. Look, it's Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. This is the sort of thing that I love. Okay, this is Editing David coming at you from the future. I've just discovered that the next scene doesn't have any audio on it for some reason, unfortunately. Brilliant. So that means I've got to do this all over again. And the most annoying thing is that this was quite possibly the most important thing I've ever said about Mexico in the last 4 years. Double brilliant. So I'm going to try and replicate it. Here goes nothing. The point of this video isn't about making Torreón look ugly or unattractive or disgusting or anything like that. It's quite the opposite. Torreón isn't the only city in Mexico with a level of industry, isn't the only city with unattractive or less affluent areas, and I use those words with quote marks. You know, there is this tendency in the world of travel and YouTube, particularly with Mexico, that everything must be portrayed positively, and that's kind of compounded by the fact that there are, again, some, not all of you, Mexicans who have this weird inferiority complex in that if you see Mexico portrayed in any other way which isn't beautiful and magical, then that will come across in a bad way and the rest of the world will have a bad impression of Mexico. But it's just not the case. There are many, many, many cities in Mexico that are like Torreón, with industry, with those areas that are slightly run down or may not be those most affluent areas. You know, not everywhere in Mexico is like Polanco in Mexico City, right? I've been to 23 states in Mexico, and I can safely say with a lot of confidence that there are many cities like that. Every city is like that, in fact, not just in Mexico, but everywhere in the world. Think about where you're from. You know, is your city absolutely 100% beautiful and idyllic, can't say that word, and magical throughout? No, it's not. The town I'm from in London certainly is not. Far from it. It's like Ciudad Obregón. We need to stop chastising cities like Torreón, or chastising or looking down on less affluent or less attractive areas, because ultimately the people who live there aren't the people that can afford to stay in a lavish apartment in Polanco in Mexico City. Those are the ones working in dairies, in breweries, on farms rather, in factories and so on, keeping the economy going. That's what brings the money into countries to maintain those wonderful magical areas in San Miguel de Allende that you see endlessly plastered over YouTube. It says on the thumbnail of this video, the Mexico which no one will show you, except me, because no one else wants to, because everyone else wants to maintain this ridiculous idea of perfection in Mexico. So the next time you're in your lovely lavish apartment in Condesa or something and you're drinking Lala milk, or you've just been shopping to Soriana for your food shopping, think about where those products come from. I can tell you where they come from. Torreón. This city is the backbone of Mexico, among other cities in Mexico being the backbone of Mexican industry. So before you talk shit about places like Torreón and say that it's ugly and a hellhole and Satan's bumhole, think twice. Okay? I think I did that bit alright, actually. Okay, back to the video. I'm assuming there used to be water in there, but as per usual in Mexico at this time of year, there literally ain't no water at all. Classic. But there are some nice bridges and stuff that the trains go under. Oh wow, look! We're right near the airport, on the flight path. The trees are in the way. Yeah, there's a plane landing. Viva Aerobus! Before we go, this is another Mexico thing which no one ever mentions. When people go to Little Caesar's Pizza as a family and get about 17 pizzas and bring them to a park to eat together. Isn't that nice? It's quite sweet, isn't it? So that park, it was alright. Certainly wasn't Parque Chapultepec in Mexico City, although when I thought that, I thought to myself, hang on, let's be honest for a minute. I think Parque Chapultepec is a little bit overrated, to be honest. It's about time someone said these things. Even though when I filmed a video there years ago, I pretended it was amazing for YouTube, as you do. This is a great spot if you want to do plane spotting. You know, that plane came in from up there, and the runway somewhere in that direction. There's a plane. I think it's American Airlines, if you can see it in the distance. There we go. It's definitely American Airlines. Have a safe trip back to the US. Oh, American Eagle. Yeah, that's like the short trip one, right? Wonder where that's going. Texas? No waiting around, just take off straight away. Off to the US. Bye, Hans. I'm so tired. We've got a mini super, tortilleria, all these miscellaneous shops that I said about, selling like eggs, milk, dairy products, etc. All your basics. I got some Lala from one of those little shops to literally save my life. This is what you'll see a lot of in this area. Antojitos, little snacks, gorditas, breakfast, desayunos, lunches, of course. These little street places are where you will find the best food in Mexico. Okay people, as you just saw, I got a Mandarin taxi home. Muchas gracias, señor. Abuelo, he saved my life. I'm lying here with the aircon on. I think I've reached the conclusion that it is just not possible, humanly possible, to film videos in Mexico in the north at this time of the year. Last year it was alright, maybe it's hotter this year, I don't know. But honestly, I don't know how I'm going to go on. So, despite the heat and despite the dead dogs and the industrialness, I've enjoyed today because it is important to understand the other side of a city, which isn't only the downtown bit. You know, people don't go to the downtown bit of Torreón, let alone the industrial part. I've done both. Apologies if you didn't like me doing this video, but I don't care. This is the reality. We're not living in a magical utopia land. So thanks for watching. I'm going to die now. I'll see you soon. Catch you later.